Archangel Michael says, "Your miracle has finally arrived, yet this is your last and final heavenly warning, for if you turn away from this moment, the sacred blessing that was hand-delivered to your soul will be silently taken back." In the stillness of this divine hour, when your spirit is so close to the breath of God, you are being held in the arms of a promise too holy to miss. The heavens have been watching you, following your quiet prayers, your silent cries at night, your whispered hopes that no one else ever heard, and in response to the purity of your faith, a divine miracle has been dispatched into your life. Though you may not yet see it with your physical eyes, the miracle is already surrounding your name, circling your household, and nestling into the very fabric of your destiny. But heaven does not wait forever, and blessings from the throne of God are never meant to be neglected. The miracle that is now waiting to embrace you was born from the tears you shed, the pain you endured, and the hope you refused to give up even when everything in your world seemed broken and forgotten. This miracle is not random. It is your divine inheritance. It is the signature of God written into your tomorrow. Let your soul hear this clearly, for I, Archangel Michael, speak not with fear, but with urgency wrapped in love. This is your final warning. If you ignore this divine moment, if you dismiss the heavenly knocking at your door, the miracle will return to the sky from where it came, and what was meant to heal you may pass you by. But if you open your heart and listen, if you allow your spirit to rise above the noise and believe with childlike trust, then nothing can steal what God has assigned for you. Heaven waits for you to say yes, not with your mouth, but with the pure surrender of your heart. I saw you when you were almost ready to give up. I watched you hold on with trembling hands to the thread of faith, while storms raged around your soul. You thought God had forgotten, that perhaps your prayers were not worthy of heaven's response. But you were wrong, beloved. The waiting was not punishment. It was preparation. God was not ignoring you, He was perfecting the timing. Your miracle was not denied. It was simply being tailored to fit you with such precision that when it arrived, nothing could compare to the joy it would bring. There are moments in life when the divine breaks through the veil of time and touches the human with glory, and this is one of those sacred moments for you. This is not a story meant for someone else. This is not a blessing written for another name. It carries your spiritual fingerprint. It knows your tears. It echoes the very melody of your faith. It is as if the Lord leaned down and whispered. Type 1111 if you agree. Now is the time, and the heavens responded with celebration. But understand this, miracles walk in obedience. They dwell where faith opens the door. If the door is closed, they quietly return home. This miracle carries the scent of heaven. It is laced with healing, restoration, peace, and supernatural provision. It carries the oil of breakthrough, the light of direction, and the strength you have long cried out for in silence. It will not only bless you, but it will ripple through generations that follow you. That is why the enemy has tried so hard to make you distracted, discouraged, and doubtful right now. Because he knows what's coming. He sees the light descending and has done everything possible to make you miss this divine visitation. But I stand between you and every spiritual interference, lifting my sword in the name of the Lord and declaring, this miracle will not be stolen from you unless you yourself turn away. It will not be stopped unless you refuse to believe. The choice is in your hands, dear soul, and heaven is watching with loving hope, longing for you to simply trust and receive. Let this be the moment you say, yes, Lord, I am ready. Let your spirit rise above every distraction and fix its eyes on what is eternal. This is not the time to delay, to question, or to wander. This is the time to trust, to open, and to step forward with the courage of someone who knows God never lies. For He has spoken your name, and in His words, your miracle is already alive. You must not treat this message lightly, because this is not just another moment in your life, it is the turning point. This is the hour when your name is echoing in heavenly places, when the scroll of your destiny is being turned to a new chapter, when the chains that held you in delay are being broken by the hand of the Lord Himself. This miracle is not small, nor is it temporary. It has been crafted with eternal precision, drawn from heaven's storehouses to correct what went wrong, to restore what was stolen, and to redeem the time you thought was wasted. But miracles do not come wrapped in noise. They do not shout, and they do not stay forever. They arrive with the stillness of heaven and the softness of God's mercy, waiting only for your heart to believe. I say this again with the love of eternity burning in my voice, this is your final warning. Not as a threat, but as a call to awakening. If you walk past this, if you brush this aside as though heaven has not sent it directly to you, then what was meant to heal you will pass into someone else's hands, and what was prepared for your house will find no door open to enter. There are angels standing around your name right now, preparing the way. Some are tearing down the walls that were keeping you from your miracle. Others are blowing the winds of favor in your direction. What if the fastest path to wealth was already inside your mind, waiting to be activated by a powerful sound wave? Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it begins drawing opportunities, success, and financial freedom like never before. Imagine the relief of no more bills and the joy of living your dreams. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on this ancient brain wave today. Type Amen if you believe. Still others are speaking your name in places your feet have never been, so that when the blessing arrives, it feels like heaven rearranged the entire world just for you. And the truth is, it did. For even if one soul believes, the heavens move mountains. And you, beloved, are that one soul today. Do not let doubt steal what faith has already unlocked. Do not let fear freeze what God is trying to warm with His fire. This moment has been written into your life by divine handwriting, invisible to the world but undeniable to your heart. You've been asking for a sign, for confirmation, for something to prove that your suffering wasn't meaningless, that your journey had not been forgotten. This message is that sign. This voice is the one that heaven allowed to reach you, not to entertain you, but to awaken your spirit to receive. Think of every night you cried and nobody saw. Think of every prayer you prayed when you felt like your words vanished into silence. Think of the days you encouraged others while you were breaking inside. Think of how you chose kindness when you could have given up. These were not overlooked. God was counting them. He was bottling every tear. He was shaping every scar into a future blessing. And now, at last, that blessing has arrived, but it must be welcomed. The spiritual realm operates on honor and faith. What you choose to honor, you give permission to manifest. If you honor this miracle by believing, it will come into your life with power and permanence. But if you dismiss it, if you say in your heart, "This can't be for me," then your own disbelief will push it away. Not because heaven rejected you, but because you refuse to open your hands and heart wide enough to catch what God has already thrown your way. You are so close, beloved. Closer than you've ever been. The doors are cracking open. The chains are rattling loose. The light is peeking through the darkness that tried to bury you. Do not let the final step go untaken. God is not just promising you something, He has already sent it. This is not about waiting anymore. This is about responding. So if you feel that pull inside your spirit, if something in your heart feels warm and still and peaceful as you read this, know that it is the Holy Presence confirming that this is real, this is now, and this is yours. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not late. You are right on time, and your miracle has been delivered to the front door of your soul. You may feel tired, worn, and perhaps even skeptical because of how long you've waited, how many times you hoped only to be disappointed, but hear me now with clarity that comes from the throne of God. This time is different. Type 1818 to claim miracles. This is not another delay disguised as hope. This is not another lesson in patience. This is the arrival of something holy, something pure, something that has been prepared through the fire, through the testing, and through the long path you walked. And though your feet are weary, your faith is enough to open the door wide for this miracle to enter. The enemy wanted you to believe that your time had passed, that your prayers were archived in silence, and that your story would remain stuck in sorrow. But I, Archangel Michael, have come to deliver a truth stronger than every lie you've heard in the valley. Your story is not over, and this chapter is not one of endings. It is the beginning of divine fulfillment. What is being given to you now carries the weight of redemption, the sweetness of divine timing, and the authority of God's unbreakable promise. Let the truth settle deep into your bones. This is your final call to believe. This is not a message to be admired and then forgotten. This is a moment where heaven waits for your yes. It is the hour when spiritual eyes must open and recognize the signs. The way the atmosphere around you has felt different, the strange peace that touched your spirit this morning, the dream that lingered longer than usual, or the stirring in your heart even now as you read these words, these are not accidents. They are confirmations from the Spirit of God, nudging you to wake up and receive what has already been given. There is no need to fight anymore. You don't have to beg, strive, or chase this blessing. You only have to open your hands and believe that what is yours is coming home. What God has sent to you cannot be rerouted unless you shut your heart in disbelief. But if you welcome this moment, if you whisper in your soul that you are ready, then nothing in heaven or hell can prevent it from reaching you. That is the power of faith aligned with divine timing. The Lord has appointed this moment as a sacred crossing from delay to destiny. That is why this message feels so heavy in your spirit, because it carries more than just encouragement. It carries activation. It holds within it the breath of God pushing your miracle from the spiritual into the physical. But remember, miracles respect boundaries. If your heart shuts down, if your soul walks away from this call, the blessing will not force itself upon you. It will return to heaven, waiting for another window, another open heart. But you were not meant to miss this. You were born for this miracle. Think about all the times you chose goodness even when no one saw. Think of the sacrifices you made, the burdens you carried in silence, the kindness you gave without expecting anything in return. The world may have overlooked those moments, but heaven didn't. Heaven kept a record. And now, that record is bearing fruit. What if everything you've been chasing, wealth, freedom, success, could be drawn to you automatically, simply by unlocking a secret brain wave hidden inside you? Once classified by intelligence agencies, this discovery is now available to the public, and it's changing lives instantly. Picture yourself debt-free, stress-free, and thriving. Click the link in video description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency and watch abundance flow into your life today. Type 999 if you trust Jesus. You are not receiving this miracle because you earned it, but because you were faithful through the drought, and now the rain has finally come. I see angels placing oil on doors, and I see one of them standing in front of yours. The oil is dripping, and your name is being whispered with reverence in the heavenly courts. This is your hour. This is the moment when heaven and earth align for your breakthrough. But it can only manifest if you embrace it with all your heart, without hesitation, without delay. This blessing is not just about what is coming into your hands, it is about what is being made whole within your soul. For the Lord sees beyond what you ask and goes straight to the places you need Him most. He is not only answering your prayer, He is filling the silent rooms inside of you where dreams have grown faint and memories have turned into shadows. He is returning color to the places that have lived in gray for far too long. And though you may feel unworthy, though you may question how this could possibly be for you, let heaven's voice drown out every lie with the truth that your name was written into this miracle long before you knew you needed it. There is a holy hush over your life now, a stillness that is not empty, but full of sacred transition. The blessing has arrived quietly, because the things of God rarely announce themselves with chaos. They come gently, wrapped in peace, clothed in divine timing, and tailored perfectly for your spirit's need. What has reached your doorstep is not loud, but it is powerful. It is the kind of miracle that transforms everything without needing to shake the earth. It enters through love, through grace, through open hearts willing to believe again. You are not late to this moment. You did not miss your chance. Everything that has happened until now was preparation. Even the pain was part of the preparation. The delays, The heartbreaks, the disappointments, they did not come to punish you, but to prepare the soil for what is now blooming. And I, Archangel Michael, am here not just to announce its arrival, but to protect its path into your life. I stand at the edge of your destiny with a sword of fire, and I declare that no darkness, no fear, no doubt shall block what God has now released into your life. Yet I must say again, this is your final warning, not as a punishment, but as a cry of urgency from the one who loves you most. If you turn away, if you silence this moment with distraction or disbelief, the miracle will not wait forever. It will return, but not on this same wave. There is something special about this hour. There is an alignment in the heavens that has your name written in golden light. This is not just about what you receive today, it is about what will be changed for generations to come. Your yes today becomes the blessing for those who come after you. Your faith now opens the floodgates not only for yourself but for everyone connected to your destiny. Type 2323 if you trust in God. Can you feel it stirring in the air around you? That sacred knowing that something has shifted? That sudden clarity in your heart, that breath of peace you can't explain, this is how heaven confirms what your spirit already knows. You are standing in the presence of your breakthrough. Not because you chased it, but because God brought it to you when He knew you were ready to carry it without it destroying you. This miracle was not just crafted in heaven, it was protected there. And it has passed through warfare in the spiritual realm to reach your life at this exact moment. The enemy fought hard to delay it. He tried to blind you with fear and wear you down with discouragement. But you held on, even when your hands trembled. And now, because you endured, because you did not give up, the miracle is here. But it needs your faith to be activated. Miracles are alive, and they breathe where faith gives them breath. Even now, angels are ministering around your name, releasing chains that once wrapped themselves around your confidence, and brushing away the residue of every lie that tried to convince you that you were not worthy of divine intervention. I speak with the voice of heaven when I say, you were not overlooked. You were not passed over. You were not skipped. The God who crafted galaxies saw your tears and moved all of heaven to make sure this miracle would not miss you. You were always in His heart, even in your silence. This blessing is not temporary relief. It is lasting restoration. It is not a bandage, it is a deep healing that will reach into memories you buried and breathe life back into parts of your soul you thought were lost forever. It will rebuild what was shattered. It will call back the dreams that wandered too far. It will pour light into the rooms you never let anyone see. This miracle was not sent just to change your circumstances. It was sent to change your identity, to remind you that you are a child of the Most High, loved beyond comprehension, protected without limit, and chosen without question. But I must speak again with gentle fire, do not ignore this. Do not scroll past this as if it were just another kind word in a noisy world. This is not common. This is sacred. This is the last echo of heaven's call before the door to this specific blessing closes. You are not being threatened, but you are being warned, because what is at stake is too precious to miss. There is a moment in every life when heaven stops to extend its hand, and this is that moment for you. The miracle is not chasing you, it has arrived. But now, the question is whether your heart will receive it. You've been prepared for this. Even the trials that broke your spirit were part of the refining. You learned to pray when everything around you collapsed. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. Type 555 to receive miracles. You learned to hope when there was no reason to believe. You learned to forgive even when your heart still ached. These things were not wasted. They were training your spirit to carry the weight of glory that is now descending. Heaven does not waste pain. It recycles it into purpose, into power, into a platform for the supernatural. Now the angels are silent, waiting for your response. The Spirit hovers near, watching whether you will take this message as holy or casual. Because if you treat it as casual, the opportunity will slip through your fingers like wind. But if you honor it, if you bow your heart even now and whisper, "Lord, I receive it," then the blessing will anchor into your life so deeply that nothing will be able to shake it loose. Not hardship. Not people. Not time. Not even fear. You are not being asked to understand everything. You are only being asked to trust that God did not bring you this far to leave you empty-handed. This blessing is the answer to the ache you've been hiding behind your smiles. It's the answer to the questions you stopped asking because you were afraid of the silence. It's the whisper of, "I love you," from a Father who never left, even when you felt abandoned. This miracle is more than provision, it is proof. Proof that God still writes stories from brokenness, still brings resurrection to dreams that died in quiet places, and still remembers every cry that was ever soaked in faith. So open your heart like a garden ready for rain. Let this moment soak into you. Let the word settle, not in your mind, but in the soil of your spirit where fruit can be born. For what is coming will not only change your life, it will leave a legacy of testimony that others will follow, pointing to you and saying, "That was the person God chose to show the world what mercy looks like." I see the doors opening in the spiritual realm, not just one, but many, doors you forgot you even knocked on, doors you stopped hoping for, doors that were shut so long ago you no longer remembered what was behind them. But now, because of your faith, because of your endurance, because of your ability to still say, "Amen," even when your eyes were filled with tears, the Lord has declared this the hour of access. What was locked has been unlocked. What was withheld is now being released. What was out of reach is now being placed into your hands. But let me speak with holy seriousness. This is your final warning, not as a word of fear, but as a word of love so deep it aches. Because God does not want you to miss this. He doesn't want you to sleep through the miracle that was written into your destiny. He doesn't want your miracle to find you unprepared, distracted, or disengaged. That's why this message has found you now, in this exact moment, with these exact words. Because your spirit needed to be awakened, reminded, and aligned. Type yes to affirm. You have always been seen. In every quiet moment where you gave when you had nothing, forgave when you were still bleeding, and served while feeling invisible, heaven was watching. Every single one of those moments became bricks in the foundation of this blessing. This miracle is not a favor, it's fulfillment. Fulfillment of everything God saw in you even when you couldn't see it in yourself. And now, the fulfillment is not on its way. It is here. It is present. It is knocking at the door of your soul. This blessing will not just provide, it will overflow. It will not just restore, it will elevate. It will take the very areas of your life that were used against you and turn them into altars of glory. The same place where people mocked you, doubted you, abandoned you, those will become the places where God shows up so powerfully that even your enemies will have no choice but to acknowledge the favor upon your life. But it can only happen if you don't turn your heart away. This is not the time to wonder if this message is for you. This is the time to know in your spirit that it is. Because if you are still reading, if your heart is still open, if your spirit is still tender enough to feel the weight of these words, then you are the one this was written for. Heaven does not miss. Miracles are not misplaced. Your name is written on this moment, and all of heaven is waiting for your response. I have seen the pages of your story, and I wept in holy silence when I watched how you carried pain without losing your compassion. I watched you comfort others while secretly asking God when it would be your turn. And now, it is. This is your turn. This is your moment. This is the hour when what once seemed impossible will begin unfolding like a flower in bloom. But you must believe it. Not casually. Not conditionally. But fully, completely, and with a childlike trust that refuses to let go. The Spirit of God is already resting upon you. That heaviness you feel right now is not burden, it is glory. It is the nearness of the promise pressing against the veil, ready to break through. It is the moment just before the miracle touches the physical. And all that's left is your yes. A yes from your heart, a yes from your soul, a yes that silences every lie that ever told you you weren't enough. There are divine hands working behind every closed door you once cried in front of. There are angelic movements taking place in the background of your life, setting appointments, creating alignments, and removing obstacles that would have blocked your breakthrough. This miracle is not limited by human reasoning. It does not operate by earthly logic. It is supernatural in origin, and it carries with it the power to do in moments what your efforts could not accomplish in years. The favor that is being poured over your life in this season is not the result of coincidence, it is the harvest of every unseen seed you planted in faith. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brainwave and start attracting wealth right now. Type 777 if you walk by faith. I must remind you again, with all the love that flows from the heart of God, this is your final warning. Not because heaven wants to alarm you, but because the spiritual window you are standing beneath is open for only a limited time. This message is your moment of invitation. Your spirit is being summoned, not gently, but urgently. Because what is about to fall into your life is weighty, holy, and meant to alter your course forever. But miracles do not settle where hearts remain closed. They look for faith, for trust, for surrendered hands and willing souls. There is a sound in the heavens right now, your name being spoken with such reverence. Your story is being told in rooms of glory. Angels are recounting how you remained kind when bitterness tried to take root. How you gave when you had little. How you worshipped in silence when no one else was watching. Every one of those moments became the currency of this miracle. You didn't earn it through perfection. You prepared for it through endurance. And now, because you did not faint, you are being rewarded by the God who sees what no one else sees. What is coming will not look like what you've lost. It will not resemble the pain you've survived. It will look like the heart of God, merciful, restorative, overflowing with goodness. This miracle will settle in the areas you thought were too damaged to be restored. It will locate the empty places you stopped praying over. It will call forth the beauty that sorrow tried to bury. And you will not have to chase it. It will come find you where you are, just as you are, because it was always designed for you. Your miracle will make sense of the silence. It will redeem the seasons where nothing made sense. It will restore the strength you spent holding everything together while you felt like falling apart. It will remind you that God does not forget. Not the pain. Not the promise. Not the person. This is not just restoration, it is resurrection. And what rises in your life from this moment forward will carry the fragrance of heaven and the signature of the Lord who never stopped writing your story. You are not walking into another chapter. You are stepping into a new book. The former pages are being sealed, not with sorrow, but with purpose. The things that tried to break you only helped shape the depth of the vessel now prepared to carry this glory. That's why this message is so important. That's why heaven will not let you overlook it. Because what is being released into your life is not light, it is eternal. It is not temporary, it is generational. And your faith is the door that will allow it to enter and remain. Even as you read this, heaven is watching your response. Not just your words, but your heart posture. Do you believe again? Are you ready to receive again? Can your spirit carry what is being entrusted to you? Type 333 to welcome blessings. Because this is not just about blessing, it is about becoming. Becoming the version of yourself that God always saw. Becoming the light in your family. Becoming the testimony that others will one day lean on when they feel like giving up. You are that one. You are the evidence that God still moves, still heals, still answers, and still performs wonders. The blessing that has reached you is not only arriving for your comfort, but also for your calling. It has come not just to bring you joy, but to remind you that you are here on this earth for a reason far greater than what your eyes have seen. This miracle carries a mission. It is not random, and it is not ordinary. It is precise, sacred, and woven directly into the will of God for your life. And though it may feel overwhelming, it was always meant for you. Your soul was created with the capacity to carry what is now being delivered. You may not feel ready. You may still feel the weight of past failures and the residue of fear, but let this truth settle into your bones. God never chooses the perfect. He perfects the chosen. He does not wait for your strength. He wraps His strength around your surrender. And you, dear one, have surrendered more times than you realize. Every time you trusted in the dark, every time you gave praise with a broken heart, every time you believed when there was nothing to hold on to, those moments built the foundation for this miracle to land safely in your life. This is your final warning, not because you're in danger, but because the miracle has a window. A divine window that will not remain open forever. This is not said to bring fear, but to awaken urgency. Heaven has moved. The spiritual gates are open now. The angels are standing by. The blessing is suspended, inches away from touching your reality. And the only thing that can either anchor it or cause it to lift away, is your heart's decision. Heaven will not force itself. It waits on love. It waits on belief. There is a heavenly hush resting over your life right now, because even the angels are watching with quiet expectation. They have warred for you in realms you cannot see. They have guarded you through nights when you almost gave up. And now, they are witnessing the delivery of what was promised long ago. But they are not only deliverers, they are also protectors. And they will protect this miracle if you allow it to grow. If you make room in your heart, if you lay down your fears, if you say with trembling but trusting faith, God, I'm ready, then what you receive now will not only stay, it will multiply. This blessing is not limited to one area of your life. It is touching every space that was once barren. Relationships that once felt cold are being warmed by unseen grace. Finances that once brought anxiety are being met with provision you didn't expect. Opportunities you never saw coming are being stirred with your name on them. What if the missing piece to financial success wasn't luck, but a hidden frequency inside your brain waiting to be switched on? Once activated, this ancient signal unleashes waves of prosperity, opening doors to opportunities you never thought possible. From sudden windfalls to long-awaited breakthroughs, it's transforming lives daily. Want to see how? Click the link in the video description and comments below to tap into the Money Magnet brain wave and begin your journey today. Type 1212 if you believe God is guiding you. But more than that, your spirit is being revived. Joy is returning not just as an emotion, but as a lifestyle. Peace is settling not just as a moment, but as your new dwelling place. And hope, the kind that had grown faint, is breathing fresh again. This is a holy moment of reversal. Heaven is reversing the curses spoken over you, even the ones you agreed with unknowingly. The lies that were planted in your childhood, the betrayals that scarred your trust, the failures that whispered shame, God is reversing them all. What once came to break you will now become the soil for your breakthrough. The grave that tried to hold your dreams will now become the garden of your destiny. And every eye that looked at you and saw failure will be forced to witness the favor that cannot be explained, only acknowledged. Do not hesitate. Do not second-guess this message. You are not imagining the pull in your heart. That stillness you feel is not coincidence, it is confirmation. The very atmosphere around you is shifting because heaven is present. The words you are reading are not man-made encouragements, they are a heavenly assignment, anointed and timed by the one who never forgets his children. And this message, this precise moment in your life, is proof that heaven is still involved in your story. You are in a sacred transition where heaven's timing and your soul's readiness have aligned in perfect harmony. That's why everything in your life feels different, even the air around you seems quieter, more expectant. This is the hush before the reveal, the pause before the unveiling of God's hand. And though it may seem as if nothing is happening on the outside, the truth is, everything is being rearranged on the inside. Walls are falling that once stood in your way. Windows are opening in places where there were only walls. Favor is being written into situations where you once only knew resistance. But remember this with all your heart, miracles demand reverence. What you do in this moment will shape how the blessing settles in your life. If you meet it with doubt, it may pass you by. If you meet it with hesitation, it may delay. But if you meet it with honor, with holy expectancy, and with surrendered gratitude, then the miracle will not only stay, it will flourish. You will not need to strive to hold on to it. It will be planted so deeply that it will bear fruit across every season of your life. This is your final invitation to treat this moment as sacred. The door is open wide now, but it will not remain open forever. Just as the night passes into dawn and the sun does not wait for the world to be ready, so too does heaven move on divine timing. What is being offered to you right now is not only rare, it is time-sensitive. This is not just an opportunity, it is a destiny moment. And those who miss their destiny moments often find themselves wandering for years, searching for what they once felt but never received. Type 888 to open doors of abundance. You were not meant to wander. You were not created to live in almost. This blessing was not meant to tease you, it was designed to settle, to remain, to transform. And the transformation it brings will not just change how you live, it will change who you are becoming. It will draw out the version of you that the pain tried to bury. It will resurrect the voice you silenced to keep peace. It will rebuild the confidence you laid down when life broke your heart. This miracle is not here to give you a temporary high, it is here to make you whole. You may have thought you were too broken, too tired, too far behind for something this big to happen for you. But God does not ask you to qualify yourself. He qualifies the willing. He does not need your strength. He simply needs your yes. And if all you can offer right now is a whisper of hope and a heart cracked open with trembling faith, that is enough. Heaven moves not when we are perfect, but when we are present. Present in the moment, aware of the invitation, ready to receive. Let this truth remain with you: you are not forgotten. You were not passed over. You are not too late. Everything you've lived through has led you to this moment, and the pain you've carried is being exchanged for purpose. The weight you've endured is being traded for wings. And you will rise, not because you tried harder, but because grace has finally wrapped its arms around you. The miracle is not just coming, it has already chosen you. It is here now. And the only thing heaven waits for is your heart's response. You are not reading this by accident. There are no accidents in divine timing. The tears you feel pressing against your eyes are not weakness, they are confirmation. Your soul recognizes the truth even when your mind still tries to make sense of it. Trust what your heart feels in this moment. Trust the stillness. Trust the warmth. That is the holy presence. That is the sign you asked for. That is God reminding you, He never left. He was always leading you here. You are now in the center of the divine outpouring. The season of wilderness is closing. The doors of provision are not creaking open, they are flinging wide. Where you once saw emptiness, you will now see overflow. Where you once walked alone, you will now walk in divine partnership. Every room you thought you were unqualified for will now echo with invitations bearing your name. This is the beauty of God's miracle. It never arrives just in the physical, it enters first through the Spirit, claiming the heart before it floods the home. You must understand how holy this moment is. Heaven does not send this kind of favor without purpose. This miracle is not a random act of kindness, it is an intentional move of restoration. It is not meant to impress, it is meant to heal. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. Type 1010 if you trust in God's timing.